Guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lou. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lou will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lou.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Breakthrough with Lou, guys. It is Friday morning, and we are live here at the studio, ready to rock it. Let's finish this week out with a breakthrough, A lot of people are like, oh, thank God it's Friday. You ever heard that? TGIF, thank God it's Friday, man. I'm so ready for the weekend. Why are you ready for the weekend? All right, what do you got going on this weekend? Share it with me. It's race time, back in the race game this weekend. I'm excited. Ready to rock for you guys. So let me ask you a question. What is your story? What is your story of why? What is your story of what? What is your story of who you are? What is your story? And then even a bigger question, are you inspired by your story or are you disappointed by your story? Ask yourself that question. Take a second and go, you know what? What is my life story? What is your story? What is your reason? And then ask yourself, does this inspire me or am I disappointed with my story? Either way, you got room to grow. Okay, sometimes if you go, well, I'm just okay, that's the problem. If you're really inspired, you're rocking. If you're really disappointed, you're uncomfortable, you're going to do something about it. If you're in that no man's land in the middle, where it's kind of like, it's okay. Folks, that's the curse of death right there. So let me ask you a question. What story in your previous life or during life or currently has helped you grow? And what story has held you back? Okay, which story helps you grow? Which story holds you back? Well, you're like, Coach, and I just have one life story? No, you have many stories in the process. Okay, would you like to find out what is going to help you grow and what's going to hold you back? That's what we're going to talk about today. If you're in, high five, let's go, let's do this, okay? Let's do it. All right, so the difference between change and transformation is what we did last time. Okay, well, let's review real quick. What is the difference between changing and transforming? Okay, change is automatic. You don't have to do anything. If you just carry through life and you don't really take an active role, stuff is going to change, all right? Transformation is actively created, actively mapped out. It is change that you direct, where change itself is like the Niagara syndrome, where you float down the Niagara River and then go, oh, I am at the falls and it's too late. Okay, you don't want to get there. You don't want to be carried by the current. You want to be the current. Make sense? All right. Change can be wanted or change can be not wanted. Transformation is a decision to make the changes to transform your life, transform your body, transform your business. Whatever it is, there's a difference. If you allow change to roll in a business and just change, like the economy changed, my business is suffering, well, hell yeah, the economy changed, folks. We'd have to be kidding ourselves to think that we're in an economic windfall right now. We are in economic winter right now. But how's your business? Oh, or how's your job? Or how's any of this? Okay, you might not have wanted the changes that have gone on, but have you transformed through it to bring your business past that? Or are you suffering and struggling in the cesspool like everybody else? It's like that with anything. People say, well, Coach, I got sick. I got an illness and my body's changed. Okay, it used to be stronger and fitter or something, or I had to have a surgery. I just went through that in January. And I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Well, yeah, you know what? It threw me off my game. But now it's time to transform again and get right back to where I want to be. I can sit there and go, well, my body changed a little during recovery. Or I can go, it's time to transform my body right back to where it was and even better. You see the difference? Okay, change happens with no action, or it can change with action. Transformation requires massive action. Okay, but is it worth it? I'd be willing to say yes. What about you? Throw it in some of these chats here, guys. Let me see your feelings on this. You got a question. You got questions. Please send them out to me. I have no problem answering questions. I have no problem listening to, hey, if you got an idea or an expansion or you disagree with me, put it out there. Let's talk about it. That's what freedom and living's all about. And living in the United States of America where we are free. I will defend your right to have a different opinion than me. And then we'll figure it out. We're all friends and family out here. Okay? So we learned that they have to have certain components to have transformation as opposed to just change, right? And then we learned, how do you transform? You set a clear picture of what you want. And this is going to be a very familiar formula for you. You're going to tap into your why. Why are you doing it? You're going to decide there's no other option. In other words, cut off from. You're going to draw the map out. You're going to create your map. You're going to take that daily, massive, weekly, monthly actions and you're going to monitor it. You're going to do it. And then you're going to measure to make sure you're on course. You're going to set a standard for what you want because now you're going to have a standard. This is what I want. This is what I'll no longer tolerate. Boom, getting rid of that. And then you're going to celebrate your transformations. Okay, so now we're done with last time's show. The review there was a little longer, guys, but you know what? That is important. You got to drill it in. You got to learn it, and you got to do it. Okay, I used to have this story. I'm going to be a little bit transparent here, that I had to work twice as hard as anyone else in my industry or at anything or on my body for half the reward, half the result. I honestly believed this when I was younger. Okay, how well do you think that served me? Not real well, I'm sure. Would you want to get up and go to work each day knowing that the person in the desk next to you makes twice as much money for doing half the work? That would kind of feel like it would pull on you. Well, that mindset pulled on me. It hurt my self-confidence. It hurt my desire, my joy. And I was like, that sucks. That did not serve me well, and it would not serve anybody well. So I turned that old story around. Then it turned it into that I have value to deliver to people, and I'm not afraid to get paid for it as long as I come from a place that I'm serving and doing the best that I can, and I deliver more service than I charge. There's no reason that I should feel like I get half for double the work. No, it should be the reward should flow when you come from a point of service, right? So now, I actually, at this point in life, feel like it's a disservice to you, to others, to not give them something worth paying for and something that's really worth it. So it no longer feels like I have to put twice the effort for half the reward. That was a very bad bunch of BS. BS being belief system. The other key is giving back to your community for the gifts and blessings you can't buy. Sometimes you wake up in the morning and you go, oh, I'm a little tired, I'm a little sore. Then you realize your neighbor over across the street didn't wake up, or they had a major medical emergency. And you know what? You step in and you help out the family, or you at least have some kind words or something, because you just give back because, my God, I got to wake up this morning and I might be a little sore. I might be a little tired. It might not be light out yet. Poor baby me. But I got to wake up. Okay, see, when you think there's nothing you can be grateful for in life, there is something you can be grateful for. Ask yourself a question. If somebody says, and I've said this to clients, what do you got to be grateful for? Not a damn thing. Really? Okay. What could you be grateful for? Well, my kids are healthy. My God, that's something pretty darn great to be grateful for. I mean, some people's kids are not healthy. They're facing major challenges. So, if you have nothing else to be grateful for and you look at your kiddo, and even if they're driving you nuts today, you go, well, they're healthy and good. Hey, that's a lot to be grateful for, folks. All right, so the funny thing is I want to teach you here that the stories that you have that hold you back, or the ones that propel you, are not always even your own. Maybe you heard these type of things as a kid. Money doesn't grow on trees. You can be president someday. Rich people are greedy. If you don't eat like this, you're not a man, or you're not a girl, or you're not this, or if you don't smoke this brand of cigarettes, the same cigarette as me, you're not a man. What was that? Rolling Stones, right? Really, these beliefs that get set in, and we all hear these things as children. And yes, children are totally impressionable, folks. Children learn and mimic what their parents, their peers, and other leaders in their lives do, say, behave. And what you say, and even more importantly, what you do in front of your kids, is important because you are imprinting on them. Don't ever let anybody tell you, oh, children don't, they're their own people and they can make their own decisions at 5 and bull crap. Okay? Children are very impressionable. You imprint on them all the time, and even if you think that they don't know what you're doing, and you're doing something, or you're not living up to your standard or your ethic, they know. So yes, we hear these things as kids. We visualize, we see these things in our lives as children, and they become very, very real to us as adults. Money doesn't grow on trees. Oh my God, I heard that. Or, my mother's favorite one was, when the old man picks you up on Sunday, make sure you get a steak out of him for dinner because, we can't afford that. What do you think that would make somebody feel about their dad as a child, or even growing up? That was an overcoming that I had to overcome. My dad was not a bad person because he worked hard and because he did not stay married to mom. Obviously, there were reasons, but these are the things that can imprint and years later come back and bite you in the butt when you go, where did that belief come from? And then you get to come to a time where your own internal dialogue, such as, am I good enough to get this job? Am I good enough to run this race? Am I really that kind of person that could get up and speak in front of people? Or am I that kind of person that could actually open a business? And you start to, your own self-dialogue can actually be the type of thing that becomes this story that holds you back, or the story that propels you. Okay, we say in the coaching industry, watch your TV, and that is transformational vocabulary. And this is something I learned from Tony Robbins. It's what you think in your head. Sometimes somebody looks at a situation and goes, oh, this is a cool challenge. We're going to bust through this, and the other person gets paralyzed by it. Well, that's by the transformational vocabulary. That's the conversation going on in your head, where you're questioning, or you don't doubt yourself, or whatever it is, but you got to watch your TV. What you say to yourself and what you focus on is what you are going to get and experience out of your life. And this isn't woo-woo like The Secret. I want a front row parking space. This is if you focus on, being lucky, you focus on hard work, you focus on things that'll help you grow, as opposed to focusing on the 101 reasons why something won't work. Focus on the 101 why it will work. Anticipate the ups and downs, what could come up, what could get in your way. But if you look and go, well, I'd like to open a business, but not in this economy. I'd like to get married, but there's nobody good left in the gene pool. I'd like to have children, but you can't do that until XYZ. Well, then that's what you're going to believe. That's what you're going to do. If you believe that there's a possibility and a probability that you're going to succeed, your chances are way better. What did Ford say? If you think you can, you're right. And if you think you can't, you're right. Okay, those are pretty simple things. This is your story. Okay, so how do you transform this story to serve you rather than hold you back? And we all know so many people around us, maybe including ourselves at times, that our story holds us back. And a lot of times it's easy to look at somebody else and go, well, if they'd stop telling themselves this big pile of BS belief system, they would actually be able to follow through and do something. They're brilliant. They know how to do it, but they're not doing it. So how do you transform this story of yours that's holding you back, or transform it to take it to the next level if it is helping you? You got to look at that old story and ask, how has that served me in the past? What is actually good about my old story? Well, what about the money doesn't grow on trees you heard from your parents, and you start to realize that money doesn't multiply by itself. Money can multiply when you calculatedly put it in the right place. So what's actually good about that is you're thrifty, and you're not in the trust fund baby mindset where you think, oh, the world owes me this money. You got to go out and get it. It doesn't just fall off the tree. You've got to go produce it, right? So there is something good about that old story. And take that and extract it. That's number one. Number two, ask yourself, what have I lost out on by this old story? Well, the old story of money doesn't grow on trees, maybe you just felt that there was no extra money for you. You live week to week, whatever the case was. So ask yourself, what will happen going forward if I keep this old story? Let feel that pain. Well, I'm never going to open a business. I'm never going to do this. I'm never going to do that. I'm going to get old and not be able to retire, or whatever the case is. Feel that pain. Step 2 is feel the pain, baby. Number 3, what new story would empower me? Okay. Money doesn't grow on trees? No, but I've learned how to create a money bush, which could be your business or whatever it is. Play with the words, guys. Your brain does not think logically all the time. It thinks in whatever makes it feel good. You're after that dopamine. So if saying something funny to yourself gets you to break through it, or saying something ridiculous or something like that, go for it. Okay, you don't have to put yourself in a box and go, well, I can't call it this or do it that, or I got to say it just like Coach Lou says it, or it's not going to work. BS, belief system. Remember that. Okay, so what new story would empower you? Okay, and then number 4, what would you need to believe to have this new story? Okay, if you have this new story that I am successful, I am fit, I am healthy, I am a good spouse, what would you need to believe? You'd have to believe that in your heart. If you want to get married and have a good marriage, you got to believe you'd be a good spouse showing up. You got to believe there's still good people in this world, somebody for you. You can't sit there and go, all the good ones are gone, and think that you're going to end up having a good marriage. Okay? So, and then even more important, number 5, who are you going to have to be to fulfill this new story, this destiny? Who do you have to become to actually follow through? Okay, if you go, I want to run a marathon race, I want to run an OCR, I want to, which is an obstacle course race. Who do you have to become? Well, you got to get out and start moving. You got to get athletic to do that. Who do you have to become to be a business owner? You have to be an entrepreneurial mindset. You can't just sit there and go, I'd like to own a business someday, and go to work every day and come home and sit on the couch. You'd have to be the type of person who comes home and works on your business while you're maybe transitioning from your job. Okay, who do you have to be to fulfill this new story? Number 6, what are my action steps to create the new story? The map. Remember, we always talk about this, the map. What are those massive action steps to actually create this new story for yourself so that you can progress? Okay, you know how that part works. You've been with me long enough. You know how this works, guys. Go back onto the blog at accelerate.life.com and go take some of the previous trainings on how you design your map, how you do this. But you got to have action to create a new story. Your old story doesn't serve you anymore. You know what your new story should be. Stop shouldn't it and make it happen. Take the action. Okay, pretty cool stuff. All right, so we got a lot coming up, guys. We have the free click meeting, which is Coach Lou Inner Circle next week. We have all kinds of stuff going on with Inner Circle. Next month is going to be amazing. We're still got a lot of April left, so we're going to continue working through this. Continue working through how do you develop your new stories? How do you manage time? How do you get to be the person that you really want to be? This is what this whole month is really about. It's not only about doing, it's about who you become in the process. Who do you need to be to have this life that you want? You guys have one life, okay? We don't come round again and get born back as a squirrel or a snake or, if you were bad, an ant or whatever. No, it's one roundabout, guys. Heaven's going to be great when you get there, however you call where you're going. But let's make the best while you're here. What I don't want to see for you is you to go to the last days or last day, taking your last breath and going, wait, there's so much more. I should have done this. I wanted to do that. I wanted to be this. I wanted to share this. I had these. Done. You know where most of the greatest ideas in the world are? In the graveyard. People end up taking them with them. Don't be that person. Live your life to the maximum. Have the maximum impact. Be the best you can be. And this isn't a rah-rah session. This is getting you to understand that this is your life. Your old story no longer serves you. And hey guys, I see a bunch of people tuning in right now. So if you didn't see it, catch the replay at accelerate.life.com. I'll put that in the chat real quick so that you can catch the replay of this, because it's an important one. We talked all day today about your old story that held you back, your new story that's going to propel you forward, and all the steps that are going to get you in there. So, really honestly, the difference between a cruddy life, an okay life, and an amazing life is the stories you have about what your life is, and then the actions that you take. So I'm going to go ahead and cut you loose this Friday. Go do the work. I gave you the checklist. If you didn't write it all down, run through it again. I'm going to start trying to get these printed off so you can download them at the end of the show and stuff like that. I just had a miraculous idea. What a concept, Coach. Give them a worksheet that they can actually follow through with. It's a lot. There's a lot that goes into doing this. So please share the show. Please share the podcast, because when you share my podcast, I actually am monetized on that. Yay! It's pennies right now, but the more you share it, the more it helps me keep creating for the show. Be blessed. Live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. And I will see you guys on the next roundabout. Have an absolutely amazing weekend. See you Monday.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lou himself. As Coach Lou always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.